Oh, man, look, I want to make sure it's working. Look, well, about it, how it's going, how it might be, and hopefully kind of give you a little insight. And if you can give me a little bit, hey, I'm with it too. Cause look, these folks, they trying to keep this tight to the vest because they don't want them rattlers to know nothing about what's going on. So, but you already know we find out a little bit. Also, we talk about this P3 thing. Some other folks are doing it. Let's see what they're doing and see, what can be done at FAMU to replicate that. You already know what's up. It's about to be Fangs up.
Yeah, baby, you know what time it is. Now let's get it started. Are you kidding me? Unreal!
While our HBCUs are mostly known for academic rigor, community, they also know how to turn up.
Does he have it? Yes, he does! And that might be the knockout punch.
What's up, little baby? What's up, Therapy? What's up, FAMU Lee? Hopefully all is going well with y'all, man. Look, look, they supposed to have improved the internet. Hopefully we get to feel that. But if y'all don't know, didn't remember, the home opener for FAMU is against Norfolk State. I don't know how else to get y'all ready for that. Um, and we're picked to finish second. They're picked to finish like fifth. So why is this really a big conversation? Because the first game of the season, we don't know what we're gonna get from them. And on paper, you really are like, this shouldn't be close. But that's the problem. MEAC, SWAC teams, let's be honest, the Celebration Bowl wasn't supposed to be close last year. But if you are going, and if you are going to that game, look, man, we got something for you. If you haven't caught on, please catch on because look, uh, I'll be there in spirit more than likely. But if I am there, it's gonna be because of my man. And look, just looking out, Mike Reed, use code Fangs up, and little something come back our way, give you quality content, everything else. Look, and little baby, I ain't gonna lie to you, I might be like you. So, but it depends. We're still trying to make that happen. But yeah, man. Also, as y'all may have seen, what's up, Calvin? Hamburger Pimp right there. But if y'all may or may not have heard, St. Clair Moraine, he had James Coleman. So if you're familiar, Tallahassee native, he played at Florida State University on the show. So look for that tomorrow. Also got a little I almost said little league, Babe Ruth baseball, talking about that as well. But talking about this first game of the season, man, and kind of what to look for. And honestly, your guess might be as good as mine because when you kind of look at Norfolk State, you can see their quarterbacks all conference. You can see, hopefully they can spin that thing a little bit because listen to Coach Colsey. Oh, look, you already know. Good dude. We've had Coach, Coach James on the show, both of them actually. But you're gonna notice they kind of keep it tight to the vest a little bit over there, but their quarterback is already all conference. So when I'm looking at this FAMU versus Norfolk State game, it's really a tale of two teams. You got FAMU 12-1 last season versus Norfolk State 3-8 last season, who's really got everything to prove. And Dawson Odom is one of those coaches. Y'all remember the first time he played FAMU in Atlanta? And what happened? I'm just saying. He was a new coach at Southern. They weren't really supposed to win that game, and they won the game. And so for this game, you kind of gonna end up looking back at the stats, but then both teams are gonna be coming in with like, what do you get? Because they averaged about 24 points per game. So 24, 25 points per game. Is that enough to beat FAMU? Is it? I mean, you got the same offensive coordinator, but you got a completely different offense as far as quarterback play. Like, what are we going to be getting out of Junior? Because if we look at points per game, that's FAMU. You're averaging 30 points per game compared to 24. Yeah, okay. I'm just saying, should be a little something FAMU's way. Now, the question is, last season, yeah, their passing game was trash. They were not a team that threw the ball a lot. And so that's something that honestly plays in their favor, because I don't think you really want to have this team throwing the ball against FAMU. Like, not that our secondary isn't good. It's the opposite. Our secondary may be the strongest part of the defense. Whereas if this is a run-based team and a run-heavy team, that actually helps them win. Like, that gives them a better option. So, look, they have all conference QB, but what is the coaching for the offense and defense? Look, you got it, because their offense ran for about 100 yards, literally 101 last year per game. They gave up 122 per game. That's not a favorable. I was trying to find a nice way to say it, and sorry for the words escaping me, but in actuality, that's an issue when you start looking at, all right, stat for stat, like, and that's kind of what, without having some real quality film, it's what you kind of end up looking at. FAMU's running game last year, 100 some yards per game, I'm just saying, pretty solid, but nothing amazing. But at the same point, you start looking at that passing, that offense, FAMU's defense takeaways. You start to realize this team that we're playing isn't able to throw over 100 yards versus some of the teams they played last year. What does that look like for FAMU? Like, you got to be better. I mean, we starting to look. They were supposed to catch that L Temple. Towson, they struggled with Tennessee State, which they ain't the most pass happy team, but at the same point, not the most offensively explosive team. Like, you start looking and start comparing. Now, when they did go against some of the explosive teams, North Carolina Central, they scored their max 24 points, but at the same point, this isn't a game where, for me, I'm looking at it and saying, yeah, this isn't a game I'm concerned about unless I'm coaching. If I'm coaching, this game terrifies me, because this screams of everything that you fear about a team sleepwalking into a game. Like, literally, they're not supposed to really score that many points. Their offense isn't that good. Our defense is supposed to be great. Our offense is supposed to be decent. 3-8, 12-1. So how much can you refocus the team? That's going to be like one of my questions. Like, and let's see what other, Marvin. Did you see the players on HBCU game day? We have some huge guys. For real. Like, I think that's one of the things when you start looking at it, and I didn't get to watch all of it. I had to have some daddy time. Somebody was, and I was like, hey, you know what? But I did catch some of it, and I'd already seen a Florida weather, man. Florida weather. Something about it's like, oh, rainstorm, right about showtime. Gotcha. Uh, but that's, I think, to Marvin's point, I think that's going to be really a difference in this game when you start looking at, again, they're not the greatest offense. Like, if they can't run the ball, it's over. Like, and look, I'm hearing this might be the best OL since Billy. Might be. It might be. You might not be wrong. Like, I really think this offensive line could be dominant. I I mean, we lost Cardell, who I counted as one of your top three linemen to a high quality Division II program. And you wish Cardell the best. Really wanted him to be back in orange and green. But at the same point, you still got an offensive line that's capable, like that's really solid. And if you can stay healthy, we're gonna be solid, man. Look, Colsey's definitely cooking. I agree. And look, on HB, what did FAMU head coach mean when he said some players were not eligible? Yeah, he said what he said. Some guys ain't make it. I'm not sure how, but I don't have that tea, so I can't get that to y'all. I did hear a few, but y'all know I'll confirm news, but I'll rarely break it, and especially if it's something that might be like, oh man, you talking about this kid, I ain't gonna do that. But yeah, so we're gonna see. It's a few of them that might not be eligible, but on the other side, if they're not eligible, does that open up a spot for somebody else? Like, so, oh, and EA, I believe it. I believe it, man. But look, y'all know we wish that brother nothing but the best. But if you're asking me, and it's no point in belaboring the point, I got FAMU winning this game. I think it's closer than a lot of people think, though. Largely because honestly, we really have no information on Norfolk State other than their record. But you start looking at an offense that is pretty inept. Like they lost Virginia State last year. You can't, whatever, apples and oranges. But I'm sure that made AD Sykes happy. But they lost Virginia State 33-24 last season. Dogfight with Hampton, wasn't a great team. Lost to Towson, lost to A&T, lost to Tennessee State, who was solid but not amazing. Like, you keep looking, it's a lot of L's on that team. Now, I do like this. The returning starters are the place where you might be able to really see the difference here. And that's why I say it's closer than the experts think. I'll be honest, I think we struggled at this beginning of this game. All right, I ain't gonna cut it no way but straight. And look, I'm gonna make a little results thing, and we're gonna keep tabs this year, so that way I ain't scrolling back and forth. But this one, I got it as a W. So I think FAMU wins the first game of the season. If you haven't already bought the tickets, make sure you get them. Again, just looking out. Promo code Fangs up. He's got box seats. And if you like me, I'm sorry. I don't mind not sitting in the boxes. I will tell you, I'm planning to go to the UF Kentucky game. We are not sitting in the boxes. We're going to sit in the general stands, but they're going to be some solid seats. But when it's hot, it's Atlanta. It's a night game, but it's still going to be a little toasty. It's kind of nice when you're in the boxes. I think this game's closer than the experts think. I got FAMU winning it, but I think I'm going to say 31-20. I got FAMU winning 31-20, and I think it's a second half gap. That's where I think at halftime, if Norfolk State is up at half, I wouldn't be surprised. just because I anticipate there being some turnovers. We don't know who the quarterback is going to be. Cozy's not going to tell us, and I ain't mad at him because, it's not just an HBCU thing. If you can watch, you watch an ACC Media Day, Mac Brown just did the same thing. Like, oh, I don't know who's the quarterback's going to be. It's a football coach thing. But in this game, because FAMU brought in so much talent, and Norfolk State, go back and look at their transfer class. It's also pretty solid. Like, it's not amazing. It's not going to blow you away, but they definitely address some needs. I just think this is going to be one of those games with kind of the lack of film, lack of information that you kind of get just from honestly not being a person that follows Norfolk State, but even when researching was kind of like, boy, y'all kind of skint. I just think it's going to be a closer game than we expect. I think they're going to struggle throwing the ball. They're not going to. If you're looking for them to air it out, it's not going to be that game. And honestly, I don't really look for FAMU to air it out. I think at first you might go for a play action pass first play of the game because they know your concerns at quarterback. But I think after you hit a one or two big plays or non-big plays, hit the opposite and be like, oh, crap. I think you settle down. I think you kind of take the game over and just wear them out because I think you just built like that. Like, just saying. Oh, what's up, Gail? What's up, Ashley? Like, I'm just saying. And look, this is why I think the first 3 FCS games, yeah, I think those first 3 games of our season, I got the first 4. Those first 4 games, you trying to break even because I think with South Carolina State, you get the same thing. Like, and we'll just go ahead and jump in South Carolina State because it's very similar. New coach. He's got some of his guys from Benedict. The question is going to be, how quick did they buy into the program? Because Chennis Berry can coach. Like, one thing you're not going to say is that brother can't coach. Like, and I think you're going to get this really the first 2 games straight. Run the ball, play solid defense, and limit turnovers. I think that's the recipe for success for all of them. But I think you're going to get the same for the South Carolina State game. I think it's a game where you're going to be home. I think you win this off of talent. I think if it comes to execution, South Carolina State might get you in a few areas just because you got some guys that are a little more familiar with Barry as a head coach on that roster. But at the same point, I think that one, and look, we'll stop at that one. And look, South Carolina State, I'm giving y'all that one for the low. I think it's another W. I got that one. Now for that one, it's a brag. Y'all know we don't lose a brag. Man, I think that's a little worse for wear. I think it's 34-14. I just think we got better talent there. Matter of fact, nah, we get 2 field goals. So I gave you 2. So first game, I got us winning. Second game, I got us winning. I think we get above 30 both games. And look, I'll be at that South Carolina State game. I ain't gonna hold you on that. I will be there. That is home for me. Now, those was my 2 games. And y'all know we come with a little bit of something. We leave with a little something. Did y'all see? Look, and y'all know Kelvin is my cousin. He talking about that P3 thing. Some schools are doing the doggone thing. If you're like me, I'm a Tampa Bay Rays fan. It's my favorite baseball team. They're supposed to be building something like the Battery down there. The Braves got something. But we haven't seen it in college football quite yet. FSU's got College Town. Well, go check out University of Tennessee, what they're doing. They are pretty much building a P3 type spot that connects the stadium to the basketball arena. Genius idea. Hotels, places for you to play games, everything, all right there by the stadium. Now, granted, is FAMU University of Tennessee? Not at all. Not at all. But these are some of the renderings I saw online. Front Office Sports, credit to them. Yeah, I know I give credit to people. I don't steal information unless it's like certain pictures. I ain't gonna lie. But information, I don't be doing that. But you can see like they literally are building a hotel next to the stadium, places to play next to the stadium. Like, I'm just saying, like, you can be able to build that at Bragg. And maybe even not at Bragg, but something that connects to College Town. Because we see these hotel prices. I've been thinking that FAMU have their own hotel and alumni boosters get special rates. I'm just saying, like, we see these prices for homecoming. Like, it's $1,000 to stay at some of these hotels already. And I did see where some folks are like, hey, FSU's homecoming don't cost that much. Because don't nobody go to FSU's homecoming. Like, when last time you saw somebody or know somebody who didn't go to Florida State, had no connection to Florida State, say they were coming to Tallahassee for Florida State's homecoming? I mean, unless they went to the school that Florida State was playing, not likely. Like, very seldom. FAMU's homecoming is a draw. Like, you have people who have no connection to FAMU, have never set foot on campus outside of that day, that are like, oh, I want to be at homecoming. Like, for what? Oh, it's just, I got to see it. It's a thing. Like, so sometimes we do have to kind of mix that comparison, but kind of like you pointed out, little baby. Hey, if you at a hotel or something close to campus, you cut your boosters and your alumni special rate. All of a sudden, that gives being a booster or an alumni a benefit. That's one of the things that you probably, well, not probably, let me not say probably, that's a struggle. Because I get a tag. Look, I got a couple weeks. I got both of you, but you got a couple weeks. It's still summer school. You see, look, I'm gonna catch Fred on Friday. Look, I ain't missed that. I ain't gonna like, look, I won't be playing about that. But a haircut is $20. Hey, look, I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I'm thinking about that lifetime booster membership. It's a better deal. You pay once, man. Shoot, I ain't never got to pay again. I can make donations, but I ain't never got to pay again. Yeah, that's up there. But I'm just saying, like, we're starting to see, like, keep the money close, especially if you connected to College Town, because all of a sudden now you've made a benefit not just for FAMU, which FAMU is always your primary option, but now you've made a benefit for the city. And we've already seen, again, you have a pro FAMU mayor. I've already stated this about Mayor Daley. He's pro FAMU. You come to him with a decent idea, he's probably going to try to give you some support. He may not push it, but he may try to help you out with it. Like, and look, hotels in Tallahassee, it's ridiculous from Philly, and Philly hotels in New York are cheaper. It's true. And they just built a Jewelry Inn on the north side of Tallahassee across from the Outback Steakhouse. I dare you to try to figure that out on homecoming. And the worst of it is, it's not the best walkable place. Like, literally, you got to walk across the street to go to Outback, walk across the street to go to Walk On, or what's the name of the place? Steak and Shake. Or you can go walk across the street and go to Village Inn, or you can go to whatever they have there. Like, that's kind of the rate of some of the new hotels you're seeing. Whereas, how walkable is College Town? Like, you think if you have something on that side of College Town, on that side connected to Railroad Square, and all of a sudden the businesses in Railroad Square benefit, you're in walking distance to a lot. I mean, the Tucker Center, the Gain Street Pies, and all the stuff over there. Like, literally, it just makes sense if you start to kind of look at what a school like Tennessee is doing. Understand you can't do it on that grandiose scale, but they're doing like a 240 room hotel. But you start thinking about what you make off of homecoming, homecoming and graduation alone. How much did you make from those events alone. Plus, when you have other on-campus events and you use those as, hey, we encourage you to stay here. When you have band camp, give a special rate to the families who have kids in band camp. Like, just having these ideas and ways to put money back into the university, I think those are some of the things that we're starting to miss out on. Because look, PWIs don't care about homecoming. They don't care about they care about rivalry. Sorry. So it's a weak opponent. They're not coming regardless if it's homecoming. Exactly. Like, I've been the only homecoming for a PWI that really gets like heat. UCF. I ain't gonna lie to you. UCF's homecoming's lit. Like, and I'm not a UCF fan. I wish my wife was here so she could see, like, he's a hater. Like, I would literally call her and ask her and be like, baby, am I a hater? And be like, she'd probably say yes. And I'd be like, I'm not a hater. They just bother me. But UCF's homecoming's lit. Like, it's literally the stadium sold out. They're one of the few. Most, they don't care. And so you start thinking about the economic engines that the economic engine that FAMU could be and that our events are. Man, how much money are you leaving on the table? Like, just, putting that out there in the ether. Like, because we've got to find some ways to monetize and earn money outside of 80,000 Rattlers giving $100. Hello. Because nobody else does that. Like, we quick to say, hey, HBCUs don't give as much as PWIs. Okay, I won't argue with you on that, but I'll say, in my house, speaking for me, everybody's not a member of the Alumni Association. Okay, nobody is, because the fiscal year just ended. But last year, and honestly, I don't know a lot of UCF fans that are members of the Alumni Association. They graduate UCF, they wear UCF stuff. The same complaints y'all have about some of us, they just don't care because they supplement that loss of money with sponsorships. Now they get $1 million donors here and there. Yeah. Somebody just gave them like $4 million the other week. Like, but at the same point, that's something you kind of got to build in. And look, a FAMU hotel would charge the same rates as other hotels. It would probably be close. You're not wrong. And look, Tuskegee has a hotel on their campus. I've been there before. I've heard. And the other side of this is where you kind of got to use what you got. We don't have a hospitality program. You know who does? Florida State. At a certain point, hey, you get your hotel going, you do your thing, offer them an opportunity to intern there. Like, I get some folks are like, I don't want to deal with them, but you know what? What's better than paying people? Getting interns, because they need those hours. It's free labor a lot of times. Like, if you are paying them, it's work study funds, which most times come from the federal government anyway. Like, at a certain point, you got to do the same thing that they're going to do to you. Use them. Because I ain't gonna lie, when I was a FAM, especially in my last semester, I would happily, and because I'm cheap, I would walk from FAMU to Florida State, get my in-library loan, use their facilities, and then walk my happy behind back to FAMU. Because as a state student, I had every right to all their library resources. Just saying, that's not something we can do. I mean, I'm just saying, as a state agricultural college, it'd be really cool, because one of the things we talk about, nutrition. What if we could get the agriculture department to continuously do studies about player nutrition and then use government funding to feed the student athletes? I'm throwing that out there. Sorry, that wasn't on topic. That's just a rock. I threw it out there. Let somebody else figure that out. But again, as we kind of see the landscape of college football changing, because the next thing y'all heard about the increase in scholarships. One of the other things is these schools gonna start finding ways around Title IX. You you think UCLA is gonna keep athletics, and I'd be okay with it. Hilton got the money. I'm just saying, we put that out there. So I don't know. That's just me, my 2 cents. But when I look over and I see, granted, Tennessee's a big school, their state flagship, but they're not the only place that's doing this kind of stuff. Like, we see where these professional teams not only do it, but have done it. What's up, Edward? Like, I'm sorry, I left the reservation many moons ago. But y'all are Atlanta fans. Y'all saw my favorite thing right there, the escape game. Yeah, I know that's my place. Um, I'm a tag dude. They've literally created a whole spot. Like, and the Rays are doing the same thing in Tampa. Like St. Pete. Sorry. I'm sorry for those people who live out in them. I didn't mean to do that. Like, what's up, HBCU fan talk? So one of the things we got to be looking at, especially as we're looking at football season, and if you don't know, if you came in late, looked at that first game, I got FAMU winning 31-20, but I wouldn't be surprised if at halftime that game is closer than we expect, and I could even see Norfolk having a lead. Again, Howard wasn't supposed to be that close. And then I went ahead. I jumped on for that South Carolina State game. I got us winning that 34-14. I think it's a little too early for Chennis Berry to be getting that dub against us at Bragg. Yeah, it's gonna be a little hot. I don't know, that humidity gonna be something they used to. It gets humid in Orangeburg, but I don't know if it gets Tallahassee humid. Y'all know, but Tallahassee heat is just oppressive. Like, Tallahassee heat, you walk out of the car and it just slaps you in the face and stands over you, and it's like, so you want more? Okay. I don't know if they're used to that level of disrespect. For the UM game, I'm going to give y'all the UM and Troy L's. Like, I ain't no point in us even doing a whole show on that. I got L's for UM and Troy. Largely, it's UM. I'm sorry. And with UM is talent. It's just, we brought in a team that will compete, but the problem is depth. It's not your front 22. Them boys ain't the problem. It's when you get to about 60 and we're looking over like, I got 20 guys left, and Miami saying, I got another 60. Like, I'm carrying 80 something to Miami. We're going to Miami, and you got 100 and some. Just saying. That's where the difference is. And with Troy, I think we could win that game. I think we can win that game. If we do win, I'm not gonna be surprised. I just think, I don't know. That's just one of those games. I think another one a week after you play Miami, that's a tough one. And then furthermore, if you're the head football coach, let's take your pride off the table. What's more important? Is the game against Troy State and Troy, Alabama more important? Or is the game against Alabama A&M and Tallahassee, Florida more important? I'm just going to say it like that. I think Cosley strikes me as a person that would be like, yeah, I don't know if this is going to be the game where I need to put it all on the line, because if I beat Troy, I get a pat on the back, all well and good. But if I win the SWAC, I get some money. It's like, and I'm sorry, dollars make sense. And in this case, what makes sense is probably letting them 2 games be what they are. Like, they could be L's, but I don't expect a beatdown. Nah, I don't know about the Miami. I don't. Miami got. They have a QB problem. No, they have a QB that is a problem. That narcissist. Pooh, I don't even like Miami. Like, I can't stand That brother's cold. Like, that dude they brought in, huh, that brother is cold. Like, yeah, yeah. That brother, he's a him. He's a short him, but he's a him. Like, yeah, yeah, yeah. No, there's no quarterback problems in Miami. We know who's gonna start. And if he's healthy, he's a starter. Now, if there's any health issues in number 2, that's gonna be the big one. Like, yeah. look, I'd rather tell you the truth than to sit up here and lie to you and be like, oh yeah, we're gonna win every game. Y'all know I wouldn't do that last year. It's like that South Florida game. I was like, yeah. And we should have won that game. Ah, that still burns me. But I think if we go first 4, it's 2-2 by the time we get to the Alabama A&M game, and then I think it picks back up because that game's gonna be fun. Like, y'all say what y'all want to about Cardinal Maynard. I'm surprised he's still there, but he put on a good show when he come to Tallahassee, and he's done a good job in the past of getting recruits from Florida. But I want to see, and we're gonna look at this roster and see he still got them ties because last time they came down, he had a good amount of Florida players and a lot of them at skill positions and linebackers. What they look like now, especially again, you start looking at this FAMU roster that could be kind of healthy. Again, don't be surprised that game from Troy gets turned into a business decision. We riding a bus. I might leave some guys home. I ain't getting nobody hurt because I'd rather win the SWAC than to beat Troy. You can poke out your chest all day, but the difference between poking out your chest over a game that I'm guaranteed a couple 100,000 versus me getting whatever I'm gonna get for the SWAC championship and Celebration Bowl added to my check and to my budget. I'm just saying, one of them checks is already in your bank account. The other one, you trying to get the bag. I think if you trying to get the bag, that UM and Troy game was just UM and Troy games. The games you worry about in the SWAC, because the SWAC is where the money's at. Not to say, in the grand scheme of things, but what I'm saying is the way his contract is and the way our affiliation with college football is, winning the SWAC is more important than beating Troy and Miami. I'm just saying. Like, hey, what's up, man? So, look, y'all, we're going to come back here Sunday, and we're going to look at this Alabama A&M game. Like, that's been a good game. That's been a good little series for a little minute, man. And look, Troy, the Sun Belt Conference edition play. You should try to win them all. You should. But never mind. I told somebody I wasn't going to say it. And so, St. Clair, I'm true to my word. I'm not going to say it. But it may be a Sun Belt Conference audition, but is the person managing going to be the person to make the decision about if you play the Sun Belt or not? That's my next level question. I'll let y'all discuss that in the personal privacy of your own prayer grounds. Because for me, I'm going to own up. St. Clair said, don't say this, and I'm going to not say it because he's working on something. So, all right, y'all. For Herb Stewart and the Black Techies, y'all, we're going to catch y'all on Sunday night, talk about this FAMU Alabama A&M game, and kind of give y'all some spots to look at. What we snacking at when we get home? I ain't going to lie to y'all. I'm going to Whataburger. And I got to go to Bojangles. Like, those are my chain restaurants we don't have in Orlando. So when I go home, I hit one of them up. But look, I may have to hit my man Spence up for the barbecue, man. So, if y'all don't know, You know, he got the mobile barbecue truck out there, man. I got to check him out. So, all right, y'all. But y'all already know what's up. Appreciate y'all. We're going to see y'all. And look, don't forget, look, if you want to go to the Celebration Bowl, you need to ride with the right. But if you want to start the season,
Yeah, baby, you know what time it is. Now let's get it started. Are you kidding me? Unreal!
While our HBCUs are mostly known for academic rigor, community, they also know how to turn up.
Dorsey, have it!